Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my Sunday stream. Today we are writing something I started last night. It's some orchestral music. That's what it is. It's kind of uplifting. It's kind of starting to be something a little bit more sweeping and epic, I guess. But we'll see where it goes. It's got piano, it's got strings. It'll probably have brass soon, maybe a bit of choir. But this is pretty much a doodle. This is me just coming up with something and seeing where it goes. So enjoy, guys. I've got my beer. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's raining outside. It's already getting really quite dark, which as an Australian I'm not very used to. But that's okay. This is perfect for writing, perfect for staying indoors and making some music. So let's do that. Let's see what I got so far. Starts very skeleton at the moment. A little bit. We had a little bit like a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago. But then it just rained after that and it disappeared very quickly, which was very sad. So now it's just wet. Now it's just cold and wet. Sadly. Hi, Riddick. How are you? Welcome. Thank you very much. I'm really glad that you bloody love it. It's good. Glad to help, Riddick. Music on demand, occasionally, depending on the project. If not aware, I'm actually a full-time soil scientist. It's the reason why I'm working in Sweden at the moment. It's because I've got a job here. So my time is pretty limited, but depends. If it's a really cool project, I'm interested, then yeah, definitely. So maybe if you've got something in mind, you can go to my website. It's scottbuckley.com.au, and then you can use the contact page there to maybe send me an email and talk about what you have in mind, and I can get back to you if you like. How's that sound? Let's change that. I don't know what to call it though. Not just ambient. That was his last stream. Be right back. I don't know how I change it without having to open the stream overlay. Maybe I can go to live. No. Nope. Nope. Blurp, blurp, blurp. I can do, there was something, there we go. Studio mode. If I do this, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. The monitor? Yeah. Okay. Editing now, editing. What are we gonna call it? uplifting orchestral question mark. Let's see if that's good. And then we go main. The magic of television. What's that? Did that work? What are we on? Yeah. It's not going. What am I doing now? There we go. There we go. God, I'm a noob. There we go. It's very generic, but I don't care. I don't care. Okay. I think it reminds me a little bit of, I don't know, there's a few things. Sunshine, that score, where it's just sort of rising all the time. I forget what the track is called. Adagio? No. Anyway, there's a score. There's definitely a score. A lot of current scores do this very often. It's very simple pop progression. 1, 6. Oh, sorry. Yeah. In minor key, going to the 6 major. I don't know what these numbers are, but very simple chord progression. What do you focus on when composing? What's the most important for you when you compose? That's a good question. The style that I write in is very cinematic. So I'm all about emotion. So it has to make me feel something. That's probably the more important thing. But because of the way I write, I'm writing using Cakewalk, which is all about using sampled orchestral instruments, not using a real orchestra here. This is all fake orchestra. So it also has to sound reasonably good. The problem with working with sampled orchestras and sounds like this is that they can take a little bit of work to make sound realistic, or at least passable for real instruments. And so there's a lot of things that I can't necessarily do using the instruments that I could do if I had a real orchestra at hand. So that comes to the fore as well, where I'm making decisions about what I'm writing based on what I can do, what my samples are capable of doing. And a lot of people who compose for a lot of scores and do a lot of work, they often have a lot of libraries on hand, just so that they have a lot of diversity in the sounds that they have available. The palette is just much bigger, which means they can do a lot more. I'm limited in that aspect. I've only got a couple of libraries, but I try to use them as much as well as I can. So, and that's sort of something I do recommend people trying, is, having a limited palette, but working with those sounds to try and make the best out of them, because you can do magic with some pretty simple sounds. A lot of composers, they just buy everything, hoping that that'll do the trick, but they don't often spend enough time with any of the libraries that they buy to try and make the best of them. And to that end, it's just a lot of money wasted, really. You could have spent that time and money on other things, which, yeah. So firstly, making music that is, it's soul fulfilling. There was a time in my past where all I was doing was trailer music. And often that's what I do these days as well. But I think one of my core ideals with my music making is to make music that makes me feel happy, not something that someone else wants, or that's sort of is something that is just sort of soul crushing. So that's the key. That's the key to composing. Doing music that you want to write. Often the realities of working in the music industry crush that sometimes. But if you stay true to your core ideals, joy and happiness will prevail. Well, thank you, Horseradish Power. That's a cool name, by the way. Found me through JF Garapi. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, trailer music is a good place to start, and I still write. And this track, by the way, is sounding a bit trailery. It could definitely go in that direction. But yeah, do music that you want to do. Let's load some choir. Some women singing O's and some men singing O's. Yes, I have worked with live orchestra. I had recently as well. Wasn't in the room for this one's recently, but when I was working in the trailer. Ask a Girl. That always scares me. I gotta really do something about those alerts. Ask a Girl, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the orchestra. Yes, I have worked with live orchestra. When I was working in doing trailer music, this was back in the late 2000s, so 2006, 7, 8, I was doing a lot of orchestral work. So we're doing a lot of trailer music that was being recorded with a real orchestra, and that was intense. It was, I've never been in a situation where recording sessions were so tightly controlled. So the idea is that you have a lot of tracks to get through. So we're recording upwards of 15 to 20 pieces of music. They're only pretty short, 1 to 2, 3 minutes long. And the idea being that this music is supposed to be for going into a library, for being pitched for trailers and for advertising and stuff. So short pieces of music, but the idea that we have to get a decent performance out of the orchestra whilst we have them there, and we only have them for, say 4 or 5 hours, and any time over that costs us a lot of money, and so we had to make sure that we're actually getting the right amount of passes. So essentially these performers were sight reading our music. I was plonking it right in front of them. We'd give them a metronome. They all had headphones, which was nice, but I also was there conducting, and we had limited passes to get what we needed out of them, so 2 passes generally for each track, and it was pretty hair-raising, and if there was mistakes, then really we had very little choice but to just move on, and we'll fix it later on. So I was like, it's stressful. I found them very stressful. I didn't really enjoy those processes. Recently, I did some work for. I'm doing a lot of work recently for Silver Screen, which is a record label in the UK, and they have a little offshoot called London Music Works, and they recently released a Christmas album, and I did some music for that, and they actually recorded the strings and the brass over in Prague Philharmonic, but I wasn't there for that, so I just had to prepare the notation, and then the other guys did the work. And I much prefer that situation. I like sitting back and letting other people do that sort of in the room kind of work. Less stress for me, the better. I think I get stressed out because I just don't know. I don't necessarily know a lot of orchestral speak. A lot of the string players really have their own way of playing and notating things, and I always get really worried about if I give them my score, will they be able to read it? Is it in the right way that they like to read it? And I get really scared. I get really scared that I've done the wrong thing. But yeah, they seem fine with it. I get stressed out about the weirdest things sometimes. But I'm glad that I don't have to worry about that too much anymore. And I prefer working with synthetic orchestras. That's where I invest my time. How do I get this album? It's on Spotify. So if you, it's on Spotify and Amazon and everything. If you go to search London Music Works, and the album is called The Nativity, and I think the byline is Cinematic Christmas Carols. And so it's an album of cinematic Christmas carols. It is what it is. Christmas carols, all traditional stuff, done in a sort of cinematic style. So it's full orchestra, and there's such a diversity on the album. It's really cool. So my tracks were, it's the first track 2 and 3. So I did the first Noel and Oh Holy Night, and they're cinematic Christmas carols. It is what it is. So go check it out. And there's some other cool ones in there as well. There's quite a few composers who contributed to the album. It's good fun. There's a lot of little cool interpretations of some very well-known Christmas songs. So I recommend it. Did you work with an orchestrator for those projects? Or did you notate everything yourself? A little bit of both. So when I was doing the trailer work, back in Los Angeles, I was doing all of that myself. And it was pretty much based off my orchestration that I was doing in Cakewalk in here, in the MIDI sort of work. And I was just essentially spitting out the MIDI, putting it into Sibelius, and tidying it up in there. But the recent work that I did with the Christmas album, that was me notating the bones of it, but then I gave a lot of that to a proper orchestrator who finished it off and made it very pretty. And I was really impressed. You really learn a lot when you actually see a professional who knows how to properly score something out into fly. I call it fly notes on a page. It looks very pretty when it's done professionally. We're not a very professional notator. So it's good. It's really nice. So that was a bit of both, and yeah, I like that arrangement again because it then removes the any of the hassles that come with me making mistakes, which is good. Yes. Thanks, Double A Battery, for the follow on Twitch. Thank you very much. It's very much at the beginning, so I was playing a bit of Quake Legends last night, and then after that I just like, I have something to get out of me, and so I started writing this about 10 o'clock last night, and I decided that I probably should not continue after about 11:30, 12. So trying to see where this is going to go. So thanks for joining me. You loved Amadeus. Yeah, thank you. I love that movie too. It's such a zany take of Mozart and Salieri's relationship. It's pretty cool. The play? I don't know. I only remember seeing the movie. That's cool. That would be actually pretty amazing to see. I don't know how they would do a lot of the scenes. They're based off the... Oh, really? I had no idea. That happens a lot, doesn't it? There's a lot of there's a lot of movies that are based on plays, which are based on books or something. Movies are always so derivative. What the hell? Yeah, lovely. I like him. I like him a lot. If I can rip him off anywhere near the same quality, I'd be very happy. Rip him off. Copy is the most endearing form of flattery, right? Question: since you've done trailer music, do you have any favorite film composers like Zimmer or Morricone? Yeah, well, I think it's hard to ignore Zimmer's influence on music these days, particularly the last 15, 20 years. He's really revolutionized film music and trailer music as well. So I have to say, I don't know if he's a favorite, but he's definitely I recognize that he's pretty awesome. But yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, I grew up listening, I was not in my cradle listening to John Williams, but I cut my teeth on film scores listening to John Williams. I've heard a bunch of users. Yeah, Zimmer does. I've heard, actually, one of my time in Los Angeles, I heard all sorts of stories about Hans Zimmer. Not all of them good. I won't go into them here, but he does have quite a team. I don't know I don't know what to extent these days. I mean, some of the more recent movies that he's done, I think he's had a lot more control and influence, and him actually sitting at a computer doing the work, which is good. But there was a period there, late 90s, early 2000s, where I think he had such a huge team, and it's people like Klaus Badelt and Harry Gregson Williams, and there's a whole suite of composers that have come out of his little umbrella. Yeah, and so he's he has quite a big team, and I think he's always got new people coming in to do programming and all sorts of things. So it's interesting. How much to extent is he the composer, or is it down to the arrangers and programmers that come in to do the work? Who knows? Who knows, guys? Wish I could hear Johan Johansson score for original. Oh, yes, me too. I was so pumped when I heard that Johan Johansson was doing the Blade Runner score. And I went into the movie thinking that he was still doing the score. I didn't realize he was getting replaced until Hans Zimmer's name popped up. And someone else? Was it Junkie XL? I forget. It's so sad. It makes me so sad. And now he's gone. He's gone. Decisions that people make. Johan Johansson probably made... I don't know what he did. I'm sure it would have been really amazing. They should release it. They should release something anyway. Portions of the score. Tastings Tastings of Johansson's Blade Runner score. That'd be nice. Oh man. And I really was not, I really didn't enjoy Zimmer's score for Justice League either. Oh no, Justice League was Elfman. Elfman, wasn't it? Justice League was Elfman. Hans Zimmer did the Batman vs Superman. So did he replace Junkie on Batman vs Superman? Oh. Ugh. Blade Runner, yeah, it was. I actually really enjoyed it. I was never really, I was never a huge fanboy of the first Blade Runner, so I never really, yeah, I wasn't really attached to it. So I'm glad. I actually really enjoy what they did with the new one. It was interesting. Similar tone. I liked the style. It was good. Am I a real person? Restreambot? No. Restreambot is just because I'm double streaming at the moment, double A. So I'm moonlighting over on YouTube as well. So so Restreambot is my little robotic chat relay bot. Sadly, one day I will just become a Twitch person. Until that day, I think most of my people still live on YouTube, and they're all reluctant to change. You guys, go watch me on Twitch. There's a link down the bottom in the description. Just click on it, guys. Jeez. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I mean, Vangelis' stuff is also of the time, and I don't think it would have really translated incredibly well to a modern movie style, to be honest. Not without some extra additional programming. I think they did okay. But there was some missed opportunities, I think. And I think, like, thinking back, Johan Johansson would have been perfect. He's an amazing composer. He was an amazing composer. This makes me so sad. He was an amazing composer who he manipulate, an orchestra as well as he could manipulate synthesizers. He was just so good. And it's just sad. It's just sad. I don't know what so bad, how it would have been so bad. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Johan Johansson pulled off. I don't remember what the circumstances was. I gotta think the best of everybody, but Sicario came out. Oh, right. Yeah, I actually haven't seen that. Is it good? If you were blown away, it must be good. Yeah. No, if I had to choose someone who was like Vangelis, it would be Johan Johansson. Arrival. Some amazing sound design in it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that Tron Daft Punk soundtrack, that is amazing. I listen to it all the time. Really good. That and the score to, what's it called? Essentially it's one big music video. The one with Tom Cruise in it, sci-fi. It's got, oh god, I'm terrible with names. I think it used a little Max Richter at the beginning. There was a little scene at the start of the movie where they used it, and maybe they closed with it as well. Yeah, which worked. It was good. Not Edge of Tomorrow. Well, that was a kind of cool score too. Very typical, I guess. Oblivion! Thank you. Scored by... I know that Joe Trapanese did the orchestration for it, but he partnered with another electronic producer. I'm terrible with names. He's the guy with the shirt. He makes the music. Yeah, M83. Thank you. Bloody hell. I'm terrible. Yeah, he's a really good producer, and him partnering with Joe Trapanese, who's got a really good, I think he's got a really good sensibility in orchestration. I'm not really a huge fan of his soul scores, his own scores, but he's a really good orchestrator, I think. And there's a really good partnership. Good score. So that Daft Punk track, you're a synth nerd of sorts. Yeah, I wish I was. I need to learn. I've got a few soft synths that I use very basically. I need to actually do a bit of a deep dive to figure out how they work. But yeah, those hybrid scores, like the Daft Punk track for Tron, and yeah, Oblivion M83, so good. They blew my mind. So they're actually pretty simple, but there's something so beautiful in them, and I think this is kind of why this track is. It's kind of reminds me a little bit of it as well. Turbo Kid. I don't know that one. Don't know him. Her. It's a cool synth soundtrack. Oh, is that a movie, Turbo Kid? I don't know. Yeah. Trent Reznor's a cool scorer. He does really good. He does really good work. I need, every time I do this, I gotta change my template. My wife keeps on telling me, you gotta change your template. No, I don't change my template. And change to a bass patch. That's better. Which is this one? Add. Atticus. I have to check. Is that a band? Like he's part of a new. Is that a new artist name? I have to check that out. 7.5. Right, of course. Atticus Ross. Such a good name, hey. Atticus Ross. Joe. I love his stuff. I use his score for, oh god, I don't know the name of the movie. Forget it. Spirited Away. I'll use his score. Use his score for Spirited Away as a reference for setting up new orchestral templates. Because I love that score. It's so beautiful and lush and sweeping and beautiful space. I love it. I love it. It is so beautiful. Such beautiful storytelling. Is native entrance piano. I don't have a great deal of pianos. It is the Maverick. So it's a pretty... kind of like a, I guess it's trying to mock off a Steinway. Good. When I do a lot of sort of simpler piano stuff, I like to combine the Gentleman with the Unicorder. The Unicorder is stunning, and it makes me get to live out my greatest Niels Frahm and Oliver Arnold's fantasies, because it's all about that really intimate, close-mic'd piano. It's lovely. I left Australia a little over 2 months ago, and as soon as we left, I think it was... No, it was Oliver Arnold's. Oliver had set a date, a touring date for our hometown and back in Brisbane, Australia. It pissed me off royally, but maybe we'll get a chance to see him somewhere over here. We are in Sweden, so you should be somewhere around here, right? Yeah. The Nausicaa? Don't know that one. But Niels Frahm would be amazing to see. I envy you. That'd be awesome. Where I left off last night. Made a few duff notes. Yeah, pipe organ. I didn't really... He has like a portable pipe organ. That'd be a pain in the butt to move. And I keep on seeing that felt piano. I've got to bloody download it. I keep on going and looking at other things on their website, on the Spitfire website, getting tempted by all the goodies that they have. Never actually getting the things that actually are free. Leaked. Oh, okay, Dishonored. And Dexter. I'll have to check him out. I don't think I remember the music from Dishonored. Thanks for the tip, David. Oh, thank you, Jen. I think David thinks it's this. I think this is Sunshine. The score from Sunshine. There's like the end piece as main guy is careening into the sun. I think this is what this track reminds me of. But that's okay. But yeah, okay. I'll go download it then. Thanks, Double. I will do that. Effects. Like it's like tape warp. Don't know which. Don't like. Maybe that sound you're hearing is actually I've got a synth patch, like a pad playing in Absinthe, the Eon patch. The effects I use. Firstly, I use spaces from the East West Composer Cloud package, East West stuff. For my reverbs, I think there's a new version out now, Spaces 2, but I've yet to jump over to 2 yet, just because I would have to change all my templates and stuff, and I like the sound that I got at the moment. For a lot of the other effects though, mostly use a lot of the Slate Digital stuff. I bought this subscription thing to get that stuff, and it's decent enough. Makes sense, sound nice and warm. And then for the mastering stuff, again, more Slate Digital stuff. I got the what do they call it? The where is it? The Slate Digital FGX. It's like a mastering, compressing, limiting thing. It's alright. I think a lot of the Slate stuff is actually designed for more metal and rock. It's not really designed for lush orchestral stuff, but it makes it's fine. It's better than the stuff I had previously, which is a lot of the out of the box Cakewalk Sonar stuff. So yeah, Isotope Vinyl. I think that would be like some of the Isotope mastering plugins as well. They're really nice to just cap things off. They're really good. Sounds like a piano being warped. Really? Maybe that's something wrong. If I play back the piano, does it just sound like piano? Let's see. Piano. I think maybe you're hearing this. Maybe it's a bit too loud. Gets pretty loud at the end, I think. Oh, that's terrible. Let's investigate. Because I don't want warble. Warble's not good. What could it be? Warble is not good. No. No, it sounds great to me. Maybe I got it too loud. It could be maxing. It's hard for me to tell what levels are on my Audient. Because there's no meter for the ins. Damn it. Damn it, Janet. So if I just play the piano, does it still sound warbly? Oh, really? What the heck? A vintage feel. Well, that wasn't what I was going for. Yeah, I can't hear it. I thought I've got some strange room noise, like a red standing frequency in my room, and so I use when I'm doing streams here. I put this EQ on, which is quite a significant, very acute drop in the EQ, but I don't think that's what's causing this. It's been good for about a minute. Okay. Maybe it's when I hold the mic button down, you can hear that, and it's causing something, because I've got the speakers playing, so maybe it's sort of feeding back or something. I don't know. It's just strange. Never had this problem yet. This is a new problem. I am only pretty new to Twitch, and streaming in general, but I've not had a difficulty like this before, and it sucks that I can't hear it. Maybe I should. I'll play a song and then hit them. Let's do some experiment. Oh, thanks, horseradish. Gonna spend all my time troubleshooting. Okay, so I'll play the music and then I will turn the mic on. Let's do it. Mic is on. That's probably it. Gotta stop playing the music whilst I'm talking. Oh really? Maybe it was just glitching. Maybe Twitch was having a moment. I've also had troubles in the past with this Restream package, having it keep up with the quality of the stream. Maybe that is having issues as well. Who knows though? Alright, well, we'll continue on. If everyone's fine, we'll just plow on. Yeah, was there anyone on the YouTube side who had any strange sounds happening? Because it could just be, maybe it was just this Twitch stream, which doesn't bode well. But now lacking vintage sound, which, you know, maybe that's not a good thing. It's your go-to. It's your go-to double A. Is your vinyl warp and shimmer. Shimmer. Is it back? What is going on? Shimmer. Shimmer. Do you guys on YouTube, do you have some strange weird distortion that you're hearing when the music is playing back? If you can confirm that, then we might be able to pin down the source of this craziness. It's shenanigans. It's really weird. Hi Commander, thanks. The LADSPA plugin. That's equalizing all the sound in the PC. It probably wouldn't be that though. Yeah, probably sounds that might be a bit more universal than just having a plugin on your computer. But thanks Jan, that's cool. That's good to hear that at least your side's working. And how are you, Commander? How are you this fine evening or afternoon? It's dark outside. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it is dark. This is not what I'm used to. It feels very much like it's evening already. I'm sorry, Twitch. Twitch is being a little annoying. Mandy, can you hear some strange shenanigans happening in Twitch? Cloudy all day long. Yes, it's been cloudy and rainy here too. Very drizzly. But I kind of like that. It's kind of good for music writing, right? Good for staying indoors and doing things like this, which makes me feel less guilty. Problems, Commander. you enjoy. Quite early, and I never did anything with it. So let's do something with it. Some ahs. Some uplifting ahs. Reverbs or reverb. No. QL. Come on. And one. Might boost the reverb a bit. Really strange. Some of them said earlier, yeah, I know. I don't know how I feel about this, David. It's very getting earlier and earlier. I'm told that maybe about 2 o'clock is where it starts. In the high winter, it was when the sun sets, and it's just stupid. Yeah, it was like 2 years ago we were here, 2.5 years ago I guess, and we were here in the high summer. We came from April to the start of July, and the sun never set. It was always light, which was also very strange, but I liked that too. I mean, it meant that you always felt like tons of time in your day, even though you really didn't. But it was nice. Felt really good for productivity.